But first, here at 6:30, the big story in Arizona and really across the nation, honoring the life of Sandra Day O'Connor. The late Supreme Court justice with ties to Arizona will lie in repose in our nation's capital today.
And ABC 15's Nick Saletti is in Washington, D.C. this morning with more on O'Connor's life and legacy. Good morning, Nick.
Kaylee and Megan, good morning to you. I'm live here at the footsteps of the U.S. Supreme Court, where in just about an hour, Justice O'Connor's procession is going to arrive. And then inside the Great Hall of the Supreme Court, there's going to be a special ceremony. After that, the justice will lie in repose, where people can come and pay their respects. Now, you mentioned her life, her legacy. She leaves behind so much for the history books. But this morning, we're focusing on Justice O'Connor, the mom. It's something only 3 people on the planet can talk about. Her 3 sons, 2 of which live in the Valley. I spoke to her middle son, Brian, just a few days ago about why his mom was one for the record books. It was a life full of adventure, not just for Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, but for her entire family, with every minute of the day jam-packed. What was Justice O'Connor like as a mom?
So as a little boy, she just was sure that we were always doing something after school as well. And my folks' mantra was, just don't do nothing.
Brian O'Connor says they'd get the whole neighborhood involved with haunted houses at Halloween, Olympic-style family field days, and the occasional party where Justice O'Connor and her husband would show off their dance moves. The Supreme Court trailblazer never afraid to show off her social side.
I don't have a problem saying Mom liked to have a cocktail at the end of the day.
I heard she likes scotch. Is that true?
Yeah, a scotch would suit her well. But truly, to meet Mom, and one of her greatest gifts is when you meet her, sometimes you can be a crowd of people and you'll be talking to somebody else and they're looking here and there and this and that. She's focused on you. You're the most important person. She just has had this historic, great ability to connect with people, and it's a God-given gift, and it worked for her.
And in difficult moments, like when her husband's Alzheimer's disease progressed to its final stages, Justice O'Connor was able to show a level of grace, strength, and compassion that was impossible not to admire.
There's some cute stories about that out there where all of a sudden Dad had this old girlfriend he would hold hands with, and of course that was part of the disease, but Mom would then hold his other hand at the same time. And so, yep, she's been great that way.
Yes, her historic achievements are undeniable, but Justice O'Connor, the adventurer, the free spirit, the caring mother, is how Brian will remember her the most. What do you think is the greatest gift you got from your mom?
Her love.
Such a simple but powerful message, and of course our thoughts are with the O'Connor family this morning. You know, Brian told me a lot of funny stories when I was interviewing him last week. One of them was, he's someone who's kind of an adrenaline junkie, and that's how he describes himself. And he was hand gliding as a teenager growing up in the Valley, and Justice O'Connor and her husband found out about it, and as any parent watching this was probably, you can imagine, not thrilled that their teenage son was hand gliding. So she said to him at the time, "I'd rather you jump out of an airplane." Well, that's something Brian held her to. So before his 18th birthday, he actually ended up skydiving, and he had to get Justice O'Connor's permission. She signed the permission slip for him to do that. And not only that, she waited on the ground for his first jump in Arizona just to make sure everything went okay, but also to show his support for him. No matter how daring and wild the dreams were, she supported him and her 2 other sons. That story just warmed my heart to hear. He definitely gives us a different glimpse at a different side of Justice O'Connor. This morning, we also want to talk about her career highlights, her many career highlights. So we mentioned she grew up in Texas and then went to college in California, but in so many ways, Arizona claims her, and that's because she actually started off her professional life in the Valley from 1958 to 1960, working at a law firm. And then after that, in 1965, she became the Assistant Attorney General of Arizona until 1969, when she was appointed to fill a vacant seat in the Arizona Senate. And in 1973, she broke the first of many glass ceilings in her career, becoming the first female majority leader in the Arizona Senate. It was the first time that happened for any state across the country. In 1975, she was elected as a Maricopa County Superior Court judge until 1979, when then Governor Bruce Babbitt appointed her to the Arizona Court of Appeals. And then in July of 1981, then President Ronald Reagan would nominate her all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And in September of that same year, she was confirmed by the Senate as the first female Supreme Court justice, where she would stay for 25 years. Such a career. In January of 2006, she would step down from the Supreme Court. And then in November of that year, ASU renamed their law school after her. In 2009, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by then President Barack Obama. And in October of 2018, she would then retire from public life as she began to suffer from the advanced stages of Alzheimer's disease. It was a disease that ultimately claimed the life of her husband as well. Something else that so many people admire her for is even after she retired, she continued to advocate for more research for Alzheimer's and wanting to make sure that what had happened to her family wouldn't happen to anyone else. So this morning we're showing you so many different sides to the trailblazer that was Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. Again, she will lie in repose here at the footsteps of the Supreme Court in the Great Hall. The procession will arrive here in just about an hour or so.
And so many bittersweet moments here, and so many moments that continue to make Arizona proud as we honor her life and legacy.
Yeah, so much to learn about her as well for the next generation. We'll continue to do so. Nick, thank you. We'll check in with you in just a bit.